When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since I've done a video, and the reason for that is should be obvious here. I had a bit of an accident about a week and a half ago in the garden, and I tripped up and I went careering towards the wall of the house with my left arm, and my arm was outstretched like that, and I went thumping into the wall and dislocated my left shoulder. And yeah, not good. And also the muscle that comes over your shoulder that joins onto the humerus, the upper arm bone there, that muscle sort of pulled a bit of the bone away as well, so I've got that to contend with too. So yeah, it was very, very sore, and had to get hooked off to hospital in an ambulance, and got sedated and got my shoulder put back in again, which was great because that really eased a lot of the pain. But yeah, I've been in a sling ever since, and I'm likely to be in a sling for a little while longer, particularly because of this fragment of bone, because I want that to start healing. The shoulder itself is a bit better, but I've been a bit incapacitated, and in everything, and gardening has been way down the list of things that I've been able to do, or even been wanting to do because of the pain. So yeah, things have gone a bit to pot, to be honest. A lot of my seedlings aren't doing very well because I've not been able to transplant them on, etc. But such is life, and I feel a bit better now. I can move, I can come out of the sling a little bit, but I don't do that when I'm outside, because I've got to keep my shoulder still, but I can move my elbow in my arm, elbow in my hand. So I'm sort of working with one hand mostly, but I think I should be able to do some things today. So what I thought I'd do is make some videos, and you can have a laugh and see how inefficient and ineffective I am doing things with just one hand. But yeah, before I do that, the moral of the tale is that you've got to be very careful when you're doing things. Gardening can be dangerous. I tripped up, that's all I did, because it wasn't tidy enough where I was walking, and I was carrying something in one hand. So things happen. I'm not saying be afraid, be very afraid, but just be careful, watch where you're putting your feet. And because something so innocuous as a little trip can end up with you incapacitated like I am. So okay, let's go on with some things. I'm not quite sure where I'll work, because I don't know whether this is too low down, this table here, but I'll take you along with me, and you can see the state of the garden as it is right now. Okay, here's the, let's just move that a little. Here's a wee tray that's been quite disappointing. So on the left hand side here, there's one teddy bear sunflower, which is all I got to germinate, and then I had a few of these sunflowers, which are dwarf sunspot, and it looks like they've all been eaten by slugs. So I had 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those, so they've gone. And then over here I've got Webb's Wonderful lettuces, and it's all a bit dry, and some of them are looking a bit ropey. So what my plan is I'm going to rescue this one teddy bear sunflower and put it in this pot, and then I'm going to empty all of these out, and then I'm going to transplant the Webb's Wonderful into each of the cells here in this tray. I'll freshen up the compost, and then hopefully I can get them to grow on in here for a while before I put them out. So that's the plan. I've got some fresh compost here. I'm going to put some into this pot, make a little hole, and then try and coax out. I should be able to pop out, not with one hand though. Let's do it this way. Whoop. Oh dear. Okay. Here we have our teddy bear sunflower, which has got lots of roots actually. So let's make this a bit bigger and plonk it in. It is a bit eaten, but we shall see. So there's the original label. Teddy bear sunflower, yay! Right, I'll give that a good water and then put it somewhere where it won't get gotten by slugs, hopefully. These I'm just going to pull out and discard. Look at that, great root system as well. So annoying. I've got more seeds, but I don't know whether I'll try and sow them now. Time is marching on. You can always buy some sunflower seedlings somewhere. What will I do? Just push out these and mix in some fresh compost, I think. Is there a slug under here? That is a question. Have a wee look. No, I can't see it. So hopefully it's not on this. Oh yeah, right. There's my... Right. Oh, some of these came out. So I'll mix that and I'll fill this. It's a little bit sore sometimes when I can use my arm, but you then become aware that you're straining a little bit at the shoulder and top of the arm. So I am being a bit careful because I don't want to be too, I don't want to delay the healing process, but then I don't want everything to stiffen up either. So I've already had some physio, and I've got when I went back to the hospital on Thursday and they re-x-rayed and it looks okay, and I'm going back again Thursday coming for more x-rays, and hopefully that'll be good news, and then more physio and a plan of action to get me recovered. It is very frustrating, and I can't drive, of course, which is doubly frustrating. Anywho, right, I'm managing to do some gardening, that's the main thing, and the sun's come out a little bit. So I'm going to put just one little seedling, if I can, in each of these cells and see if we can get some of them. They're looking quite poorly, to be honest. So we'll see. Let's see how I manage this. Do I want to flip some of these out? There's not a lot of decent sized seedlings. There, right. Let's just see what we have. Sorry, this is probably going to be painstaking. I won't video all this in real time, or we'll be here all day. But let's do one or two so you can see how I'm managing. See, these are tiny, but that one's a bit bigger. Right, I got this one. Got this one. Nice roots. Let's get it in here. Yay. I have, now this is mostly fresh compost, but I have some organic seaweed and I'm going to make up some of that in a watering can, and I'm going to water these things with that just to give them an extra boost, I think. Okay, that's one done. Yay! I don't know how many I'm going to get, but I'll carry on and I'll come back to you once I'm finished. Right, I've got 3, 6, 9, 12 that are maybe salvageable, I think. The rest I'm giving up on because they're little tiny spindly things. So yeah, I'll get these watered and then I'll probably put them just in the grow house, but I'll just need to try and check for slugs. And I'll water them with a seaweed solution, and that should give them a little kickstart. And the same with my little teddy bear sunflower. And teddy bear sunflowers, I love them, but generally they get attacked by slugs as well, and now I've only got one. So I would say the chances of this actually growing into a larger plant and giving me sunflowers is probably 5% at the moment. But watch this space, we'll see how long I can keep it alive, because usually I'll have I'll have several, and eventually some will succumb, besides my best intentions, or despite my best intentions, to try and keep them alive. Anywho, that's the first gardening that I've done in a fortnight, and it feels great. It feels absolutely great. Now I want to have a look at this little plant here. This is something I'm growing as part of the single seed potato challenge, and there's various videos I've already posted on that, and I've got a playlist that I will link to later at the end of this video. But basically, single seed potato challenges, we're given a potato by Steve from Digwell Greenfingers YouTube channel, and the idea is to see how many potatoes you can grow from a single seed potato. So what we've all done, all the participants have duly sort of chopped up their single seed potato so that they had several pieces, each piece having an eye, so that potentially that can grow a plant. And most of mine are now in their final pots, but this little plant, this was the smallest piece of potato that I got from that original seed potato, and it was only about that size, about the size of a 50p piece, if that. So it was tiny, and this plant is taking quite a while to catch up with the others. And what I want to try and do is see how it's coming on root wise. Oh, look at that, there's a slug. Right, slug, you're good in there. Ping. Right, so it's looking like it's doing quite well, and I think what I will do, I'm not going to put it back in, I'm going to put it into a slightly larger pot now to encourage it to grow a little bit larger before I put it into the final pot where I'm going to grow it on and hopefully get some potatoes. So I'll find a pot, and that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so here I've got a larger pot. There was the one that's come out of, and I'm going to move it into this one. So I shall put some compost in here. I'm still finding little bits of those. That's it. So put some compost in, and what I'm going to do also is put some organic potato fertilizer in. So this sort of granulated potato fertilizer to give it a little bit of a boost. So let's see, is that about right? There we go. And then I'll fill around with more compost, and hopefully in a week or two this will be ready to go into its biggest pot. So it's taken a wee while, but hopefully it will grow into a viable plant and we'll get potatoes from it. Okay, here's a hanging basket that I put a geranium in. This geranium I overwintered in the potting shed. I think I started out with 6 or 7 geraniums, and I got four or five of them through the winter, which is great. Now, I'm going to do a bit of a clashy thing here, because this is either red or pink, I can't remember which. So I've got some marigolds. I thought I'd just pop some marigolds around it and just sort of brighten up the pot. My aim is just to get loads of colour in the garden, as much as I can do, because potentially we may have people coming to view the house in the not too distant future. So yeah, so it might be a bit clashy, but what the heck. And marigolds, they're nice and bright, and they can be great as companions to different, when you're growing, you know, tomatoes or whatever, and sort of sacrificial plants when you want the slugs to eat these rather than your veg or fruit. But I'm just going to put them in here because it will give a nice striking colour in a hanging basket, and that's what I'm looking for. So hopefully this won't be too hard. As I say, it will be a bit of a clash, but what the heck. What the heck indeed. These are really dry actually. I didn't grow these from seed, I hasten to add. My lovely friend Lisa took me to the garden centre last weekend while I was feeling suitably sorry for myself, and I got some things there. I don't know whether I like the smell of marigolds. It's quite distinctive, as is the smell of geranium actually. But I do like the pop of colour that you get from them. It'll be a laugh when the geranium starts flowering as well. To see the clash. That is assuming the marigolds are still flowering themselves. There we go. So that was an easy job, one-handed or 1.5-handed. So nice little water, and I'll pop it back up. I can get this up one-handed. It's not too heavy a hanging basket. I won't water it too much obviously, or it'll be really, really heavy. But yeah, I can manage to get this one up myself. Okay, well I think I've done enough for just now. I don't want to overdo it. It feels great having got at least some little bits and pieces done in the garden. Hi Colin. So hopefully this is me back on my videoing and vlogging. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye bye for now. Bye.